Hey, what is up guys, Houston Hydreigon here, back bringing you guys another Overwatch video, and today guys we're going to be talking about the new update that Overwatch just got. It's update 1.5 and we're going to go into it. It's basically the update that contains Sombra, and we're going to break down the new game modes and competitive, and also the heroes that actually got buffed and nerfed along with this. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So the first thing that we got here is Sombra actually finally got implemented into the game. I haven't seen any changes yet, but we're gonna have to wait and see until we actually start playing it. Yes, so she was being played in a PTR and she finally went live. It was after like a week or so that's about it for Sombra. We're gonna have to check out if they're gonna like hotfix her, or like any type of patches are gonna come for her if she's actually considered to be a little bit too OP. And I just hope that they actually increase the damage, because she was kind of lacking on the damage side of things, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Now moving on to the new game modes guys, we actually have the arcade, which is something that Overwatch was actually Blizzard actually implemented into the game. So they actually implemented a new arena map, which was Eco Point Antarctica, which is actually exclusive for the arcade, which is for the 1v1s. I think the 1v1s are actually pretty cool. I think people are actually gonna like that a lot. There's also a variety of game modes. There's also 3v3 skirmishes. There's also no hero switching game modes, like the ones from the weekly brawls that we used to get. And in quick play they actually did limit the hero limit to 1, which most people aren't gonna like it, but I think it was kind of necessary for quick play, since quick play, people usually just call it quick play, it's just quick play. But now, you know, people can actually go into like a warm up and a quick play before a competitive game without, you know, getting a bunch of maze on the other team. Now moving on to the season 3 side of things, they actually did make a couple changes. So Blizzard actually did promise to actually broaden the levels or the skill ratings of the players that they actually got. So what they're going to do is they're basically going to give you a lower level placement skill rating basically, but you know, for the first matches after you get your skill rating, they're actually going to give you extra points so that you can actually get into the skill rating you believe you are. But they're actually going to try to broaden the skill, like just the amount of players that are in each side. Like platinums are going to be more golds, there's going to be more silvers, I guess you could say. So I think that's kind of important, so that, you know, once you actually do reach platinum, there's a more of a sense of prestige to it, and once you actually do reach diamond, like it's a really big accomplishment and not like, you know, something everybody can do. But I think that's actually pretty important. But you know, a lot of people are going to be upset that they're still in gold, and they're going to start calling gold the elo hell. And also season 2 will actually end on November the 24th, and season 3 will actually begin November 30 or December the 1st. Now we're gonna move on to actually the heroes and the ultimates and everybody that got nerfed and buffed. And the first nerf is actually for everybody and the whole hero cast, is that all ultimates will now cost 25% more, like basically to actually get your ultimate. So what this is gonna do is just slow down the game, and it's actually gonna come down to basically whose kits are better when you don't have the ultimate. Basically Zarya's gonna take 25% more time to get her ultimate. Pharah, anybody that takes a little while to actually get their ultimate is actually gonna be kind of nerfed in a way. But we're gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out now that it's actually available to the whole public. And I just don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section about this whole change. So now guys, let's actually move into the individual heroes. And the first hero we're gonna have here on the patch notes is Ana, and her nano boost actually got nerfed. She no longer gives actually a speed boost to anybody that she applies a nano boost to. And what this is basically going to do is just basically Reaper can no longer get nano boosted and tear apart the whole team and without letting the team escape. I guess this is a small nerf, but I don't think it was actually necessary. But then again, it was kind of hard taking out like a really fast Reinhardt that moved like a diva. So I get what Blizzard was trying to do with this nerf, but we're gonna see how it actually plays out. And guys, Diva, we're gonna move on to Diva, and she actually got buffed. Her amount of time to actually get her ultimate actually got decreased by 20%, and she also moves 25% faster when she is shooting, which a little bit before this patch she wasn't actually moving when she used to shoot. And on top of that, she also got increased health. She now has 200 more health on top of her for her mech, so now she has a combined total of 600. So I really think it was necessary, because you know, Diva isn't all that great in competitive. She's alright, but she's not, you know, really all that great, and I think this buff is basically going to make D.Va a lot better and a little bit more viable and competitive. Now moving on to Lucio, and Lucio's nerf wasn't actually a big of a deal. His healing up, or you know, his amp it up when he's healing, it only got decreased by 10%. It's not that big of a deal. I still think Lucio's going to be a staple in a bunch of competitive games. I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon. Lucio mains, I guess it's not that big of a deal. You guys are still okay. Moving on to Mei, so what Blizzard decided to do, since they did increase the range of the ultimate, they're actually going to also increase the amount of time it actually gets to get to ultimate. And she actually got increased by 15%, so it's going to take 15% longer to actually get your ultimate. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I still think Mei is going to be used a lot more than all the other defense characters. But yeah, I think Mei's in a good spot right now. I don't think she's going to need any nerfs or buffs for the future unless another hero actually got buffed. Next hero we got, guys, is Mercy. Now she actually got buffed in the way that she heals herself. So before this patch, Mercy actually used to, when she took damage, in order to heal herself, it took her 3 seconds without taking damage. Now it only takes 1, and it'll immediately activate and she'll begin regenerating health. I think this is important for Mercy mains to actually stay alive and try to, you know, keep up with the Lucios basically. So you're gonna see a lot more Mercy now, and I think it's actually a pretty good thing that they actually did. Now the next hero we got here, guys, is Pharah, which is actually a pretty complicated hero right now. She, in some people's eyes, got nerfed and other people's actually got buffed. So what they did, they actually increased the minimum damage that the rocket actually puts out by 13%, but on top of that they also decreased the amount of the knockback that her rockets actually give to 0%, which basically makes Pharah, like, whenever she sues somebody, they're actually just gonna stay in place. So for some people it's gonna make it easier for the next rocket to actually hit. For other people, it's just gonna, they actually not like the knockback because they would actually fall off the map, but we'll see what actually happens with this. She can actually fly indefinitely now, so she actually got a 35% increase in the lift, her passive lift. So basically she can stay in the air for basically the whole time if she actually wanted to, which is going to make it harder for her to kill, which was actually important since Soldier actually did get buffed in this patch, and we also have heroes like McCree that can easily shoot her down. Now talking about Soldier, we're actually going to start moving on to Soldier, and Soldier's damage actually went from 17 damage per bullet to 20, which is going to make basically Soldier a melting machine when it comes to just shooting people that aren't tanks, and he's actually going to give him a chance to actually kill a tank, because before this patch, Soldier basically all he did was give the tanks the ultimate charge, and he was in a kind of a bad place with McCree, but now I think that he's on the same level as McCree. They can both put out the same amount of damage at the same amount of time, and I think it was actually a very, very necessary buff. Now that Pharah is actually slightly buffed and Soldier's now buffed, I think it kind of makes it even, and it basically puts Soldier back in the meta. Some people were actually complaining that Soldier wasn't actually in the meta or whatnot, but now that with this buff, I think it's going to make Soldier a little bit more viable in competitive games. Now guys, we're actually going to move on to Torbjorn, and Torbjorn got a slight buff, slight nerf. So what they did is actually they gave him a passive ability to actually make his own armor. So now he doesn't have to rely on actually getting scrap from people you actually kill. You actually make your own scrap, and when you do actually get scrap, you get 40% less scrap than what you used to get. So basically before the match actually starts, you can actually make at least 1 armor pack or 2 armor packs, and we might actually see him in competitive because have a tracer with 225 health is actually going to be very, very good. We should see more Torbjorn with this. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section, but that's all we got for Torbjorn. Now moving on to the much needed buff for Widowmaker. She actually does no longer takes damage from her own Venom Mine, which is actually the dumbest thing to actually ever buff. It should have been there since like the start of the game, but I don't know why it's barely coming now. And their charge rate for her sniper actually got increased, so you actually get to 100% a little faster. So this basically makes Widowmaker a little more reactive, and it just lets you react quickly to whenever somebody's actually passing by your scope. And last but not least, we actually got Zarya, which most Zarya mains are actually going to be pretty upset about this. So what they actually did is they nerfed her particle barrier and her projected barrier, which is basically means whenever she does put a bubble on herself, the power gain from the barrier is decreased by 20%. So it's going to take 20% longer to actually get to 100% charge, or whatever charge you're actually trying to get to. The same applies to whenever you do put another bubble on a teammate. Tell me what you guys think about this. Blizzard was basically trying to make Zarya a non-mandatory pick, because usually in competitive you need a Zarya to actually protect the healers, but now that this basically got nerfed. We might see a little Lazari, a little more Diva, but we're gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out in the next competitive season, because right now they did release it mid-competitive season of season 2, and it's not gonna give enough time for players to actually get a feel for the new patch right now, so we're gonna have to just wait and see. But that's all I got for you guys today. Tell me what you guys think about all these changes. If you didn't already, please subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.